Okay. Oh, dude, this is amazing. In a first-of-its-kind lawsuit, Sydney Nicole Gifford is suing fellow Amazon influencer Alyssa Scheel for copyright infringement and misappropriation of likeness. Both create content in the clean girl aesthetic, characterized by neutral colors, minimalist decor, and a focus on self-care. But Gifford alleges that Scheel has harmed her earnings by copying her content, including featuring the same types of products, posting similar poses and outfits, matching specific frames of her videos, and even getting a similar flower tattoo on her left bicep, just like Gifford. Scheel denies copying Gifford and claims that the similarities in their content are due to the nature of the Amazon influencer program and the prevalence of the clean girl aesthetic. She argues that many influencers feature the same products and that Gifford's style is not unique. Kind of own goaling with that one, IMO, says Riley. Sorry, he added that to our notes. Legal experts suggest that Gifford's case faces challenges because copyright law offers limited protection for the type of content she creates. Given the generic nature of many of the images and lack of exact replication, the similarities may not be sufficient to prove infringing. Our discussion question is, what are the boundaries of intellectual property in the influencer industry, where repeating trends is kind of part of the culture, like memes? Could we sue another YouTuber for making Junkyard Wars, for example? Wait, oops, that's the US version of the UK show Scrap Heap Challenge, which we actually did realize when we named our thing Scrapyard Wars. But hey, at least it's not quite the same thing. Now, everything that I said just now is sort of hard to wrap your brain around until you actually look at the content. So I'm gonna pull these guys up. Hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna pull up the one, and then I'm gonna pull up the other one. And it is worth. I know that people have some thoughts on The Verge or whatever. It is worth firing up The Verge. I'm gonna Dan, can you share the article with people? Sure. It's worth firing up The Verge and reading this article. It's a long read, but just look. Put your Subway Surfers aside for a little bit and read it, because it is sort of mind-blowing. It's an outstanding piece of journalism. And hold on, I'm just trying to Control F. Crying out loud. Sydney, here we go. It's an outstanding piece of journalism because it manages to tell both sides of the story in a way that I think is shockingly unbiased. Because if you're anything like me, you're going to look at these two and you're just going to kind of go, okay, oh, for crying out loud. Just find the stupid thing. Here. Okay, here we go. You're going to look at these two and you're just going to go, yeah, how could anyone be more generic than this? And how could one painfully generic person accuse another painfully generic person of like stealing their vibe when this is it? I mean, oh man, I told myself that when we covered this, I was going to try to stay neutral, but like, my God, you didn't create the products.
Like their color palette?
Yeah, you didn't create any of these products. Do you understand where that took me way too long.
Sorry.
Do you understand where products come from? Okay? Because it wasn't from you. It wasn't from your Instagram page. It was from a company somewhere that engaged a manufacturer somewhere, built a spec for a product, and created it. And if it exists on Amazon, there are literally, I promise you, the minimum order quantity for them is thousands of units. There are literally thousands of them that exist before you ever touched it. How can you possibly say that someone is infringing on you by featuring the same like purse or whatever? I I am beyond words on this whole vibe.
Anyman is telling us to check examples from the Verge article, but I would recommend that people just go look at the Verge article themselves. The main thing that stands out to me is probably the arm tattoo. If those are actually super similar, that could be getting kind of weird.
They're in the same spot, but let's be realistic. There are not that many. There are not that many spots that like people put tattoos. I will show the tattoo like the same one.
Tattoo though.
I'll show just the tattoo here. No, not really.
Rose
it's
and
definitely similar.
Dandelions?
Yeah, it's in like kind of a similar spot, but like,
and it's a similar style.
Like, look, if I got a tramp stamp, would one of them accuse me of copying them? Like, well, no, I'm not.
A second one?
I'm not saying like an enlarged one.
Second tramp.
Like, I'm not saying that either of them has one. I doubt that tramp stamp is part of the clean girl aesthetic. If anything, the opposite. But like, my point is just that there's a finite number of like trendy places that people put tattoos, and I don't think that you can lay claim to putting a mark on a particular spot on your body. Like, there's only so many of them. Yeah, and Mikeo says tattoo fads are definitely a thing, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I just and you know what? There's, like I said, the article's really good, and it does a good job of allowing them to kind of lay out what they think should be protected about their business. But I gotta say, as someone who's in the influencer game, even though, you know, a lot of what we do is more akin to vlogging or reviewing, as someone who definitely participates in affiliate programs, honey, what you do ain't unique. And if someone's copying your style, then that's good, and keep innovating. I've been doing this for one of them is 24. Okay, I have been doing this since
more than half the time they've been alive.
I have been doing this since the one of them was 7 years old. And let me tell you, what you did when you first started, it's not going to work today. And what you're doing today is not going to work tomorrow. Platforms come and go. Content formats come and go. Visual styles come and go. You probably shouldn't have gotten that tattoo because, you know, now you've marked yourself as like, you know, Gen Z or whatever. No, in all seriousness, get whatever tattoos you want. The point is just that everything is impermanent. And if you expect like your signature tattoo to be like a thing and stay fresh and hip forever, you got another thing coming. That is not how this works. I'm sorry. Anyway, read the article. It's really good. It's probably the best piece that I've read on The Verge in years.
Yeah, we don't want to cannibalize other people's stuff, so just go check it out yourself. Okay, do you want to talk about
hold on. There's one.
efficiency?
No, there's one thing I'm going to read off of it first. This is really funny. It's like the what is it? The byline, the subheadline. I don't know. I don't come from print. One Amazon influencer makes a living posting content from her beige home, but after she noticed another account hawking the same minimal aesthetic, a rivalry spiraled into a first of its kind lawsuit. Can the legal system protect the vibe of a creator? And what if that vibe is basic? Oh, she called her a basic bitch without saying it. I love it.
That's actually pretty good.
Anyway, it's great. It's great because there's this undertone of like, okay, this is all ridiculous, right? Like Emperor's New Clothes. Like we all know this is ridiculous, right? But she tackles the subject matter with such energy and like almost like doe-eyed innocence. Like I don't know that this is ridiculous. That you have to admire it. It's a really stylish article. It's really good. Okay. All right. Sorry, Luke, go ahead. Speaking of really good articles.
Oh, okay, good. That's a good intro.